Last night here on TNT, it looked like a blowout. It was anything but. Portland was cruising. Jerome Kersey and company led by 20 with 8 minutes left in the game, when Utah unleashed a furious 45-point fourth-quarter attack with 20 from the mailman. The Jazz trailed by 2 with one more crack at it.
Bailey into Stockton, under pressure from Terry Porter. Stockton for 3! Just missed it!
Rick Adelman's Blazers escaped with a 2-point win and a 2-game lead as they head for Utah. Tonight we're coming at you with a doubleheader. In Game 1, we'll take you to Philadelphia for the Bulls and Sixers. Led naturally by Michael Jordan, Chicago has made it look easy in the first 2. Now can Philly find a way to slow down the rampaging Bulls? A couple of wins at home would set Charles Barkley and the Sixers straight. But against the Bulls, you can't expect them at the Spectrum. Our playoff nightcap from Oakland, as Golden State and LA hook up again, hard-pressed to match the drama of Game 2, when Chris Mullin scored 41 as the Warriors won by 1 to make it 1-1. Meantime, Magic displayed some more sleight of hand, notching a career playoff high with 44. But for the first time this postseason, the Lakers were beaten, while beating a path to the conference finals. It's Playoff Magic on TNT. Tonight we'll see if Philly turns bullish against Chicago and if 2 California teams can stage another Hollywood-type finish. Good evening, everybody. Ernie Johnson in Atlanta on this doubleheader Friday night, joined once again by Milwaukee Bucks head coach Del Harris. Good to have you back with us tonight. Take a look at Philadelphia and Chicago. Bulls leading 2-0. What do the Sixers have to do tonight?
Well, I think Barkley and Mahorn have to play with the same kind of energy and enthusiasm that they did to rebound and defend when they played Milwaukee in the first series.
You recall that, I think.
I do recall very well. Although short as it was, I do recall. Ron Anderson has to step forward as the instant offense man that he was for them all season, particularly the final 20 ball games and the first series. And then they have to find a way to solve the Scottie Pippen matchup. He has 47 points, 17 rebounds against them total in games 1 and 2.
So that's Game 1 of our doubleheader coming up. Now, last night here on TNT, Utah and Portland, Game 2. And we understand if you went to bed after 3 quarters, Portland's up by 16, but what a finish you missed. Utah rallies big time to tie at 116. Portland goes inside to Terry Porter, who breaks the tie. Blazers back in front. Utah with a shot to tie or win with 3 ticks left. John Stockton won't go. They fall 118-116. Portland goes up 2-0. Now, in case you missed the news out of Landover, Maryland, the Washington Bullets have recorded a league first, naming Susan O'Malley the team's president. She's the first woman to ever hold that post with an NBA club. She was the team's executive vice president for 3 years, focusing her attention on marketing and ticket sales, and Bullets attendance has been on the rise. She has spent at least part of her first full day as president fielding congratulatory phone calls from Bernard King and other Bullets. Well, Del Harris and I will be back at halftime, but straight ahead, it's Game 1 of our playoff doubleheader. The Bulls and Sixers next on TNT.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Site of tonight's Game 3 in the Eastern Conference semifinal series between the Chicago Bulls and the Philadelphia 76ers. Chicago leading it 2-0. I'm Pete Van Wieren, along with Hubie Brown. Well, Hubie, this Chicago team on a playoff roll. They've won 5 straight games, 4 straight games in the regular season, so they've won 9 in a row. We all know about Air Jordan. We all know about Scottie Pippen slashing to the basket, about Paxson hitting outside jump shots. But one other facet of the Chicago game, a big part of their success.
Well, the defense is the part, Pete. They are big and they are quick. Now, during the course of the 5 playoff games versus New York and Chicago, they've held the opposition to only 90 points a game. That's Detroit, kind of a statistic. During the course of the year, Detroit led the league in holding teams under 151 times. Now, Chicago was right there 46 times, so it's not a surprise to the NBA people.
Now, the Philadelphia 76ers must win this ball game. They have the home court advantage now for the first time in this series. They've played very poorly, really, in the first two games. What must they do to have a chance to win this one against the Bulls?
Well, the scoring must be spread around, B. Right now, Charles Barkley and Hersey Hawkins are the only two guys who are putting points up there, but you can see the struggling is in the shooting, and that's a credit to the Chicago defense. We have all of their major guys, 41 and under, outside of Charles Barkley. Now, to complicate that situation, they have a rebounding problem. Now, Barkley is fine. Hersey Hawkins, their second guard, is averaging 7 rebounds a game. But what about the people who get paid to rebound? Gilliam, Anderson, Mahorn. Look at that. Very, very poor statistics.
And one question about the Philadelphia attack tonight might be Rick Mahorn. He's been having problems with back spasms all afternoon. We'll see how much playing time he will get tonight. All of the action coming your way from the Spectrum. Game 3 just around the corner. We'll be back right after this. Pete Van Weren and Hubie Brown back with you from the Spectrum in Philadelphia, expecting a sellout tonight as Philadelphia tries to do some damage with the home court advantage. Here are tonight's Jeep Eagles starting lineup. Chicago up in this series 2-0. They will start that threesome up front who have been so effective in this series of Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Bill Cartwright. In the backcourt, John Paxson and, of course, Michael Jordan. Charles Barkley, who's been doing his thing in this series for the Sixers, will be joined up front by Armand Gilliam and Rick Mahorn, who, as Hubie mentioned, must do their thing for the Sixers to have a chance. In the backcourt, Ricky Green, who has struggled this series, and Hersey Hawkins. Now, here are the numbers, Hubie, which really indicate how Chicago has dominated games 1 and 2.
Well, you see, Sixers have really struggled shooting, and then there should be an awful lot of rebounds for them to gather, especially with the bulk on the front line, and they're a minus there. Naturally, that leads to no assists, and then both teams have been really taking care of the basketball because that's very few turnovers, but Chicago is really dominating.
Really interesting to note how so soon into the playoffs, some of the dominant areas that were in there for the Chicago Bulls during the regular season have already surfaced in the playoffs. There are your officials for tonight's game, Ed T. Rush, Hugh Hollins, and Jack Neese, and we are all set to get it underway from the Spectrum. And we'll keep an eye early on Rick Mahorn. One thing Jimmy Lynam would like to do is get him a little more involved offensively, but he wonders if he can, if Mahorn has problems with that back, which has been bothering him all day. And even as he walked out here tonight, he said it's a little iffy, but he's going to try it.
Big Rick said it's playoff time with a big smile on his face.
Well, here we go from Philadelphia. It was Chicago that knocked Philadelphia out of the playoff picture last year, beating them in a 4-1 series.
Now, Chicago runs a very methodical type of a half-court offense. They do an excellent job in forming what we call triangles, overloading one side of the floor, and out of it, things just flow. They use very few numbers or signals, so the defensive teams have got to gauge off of which way the ball is passed.
It'll be inbounded here by Chicago. Mahorn came down with that ball, but stepped out of bounds with it.
No control.
Right now in this series, Bill Cartwright and Will Perdue are dominating Mahorn and Bowl at the center position. That is
amazing.
Something, yeah, it is, due to the fact that Philadelphia defeated them 3 out of 4 games during the course of the season.
Since Chicago is getting the ball back here, what we're doing is resetting the clock. That ball didn't hit the rim, so the clock is being reset at 13 seconds. And now it comes into Paxson. He's got Green on him. One of the key matchups tonight, Scottie Pippen against Charles Barkley. And Pippen misses the first shot, a rebound. Goes out of bounds. Still belongs to Chicago.
Anytime that you double team, naturally people must rotate and cover. Well, what is happening in this series is the guards for Philadelphia are rotating down inside and are getting beaten on the boards by the front court people of the Chicago Bulls, all by size.
And Michael Jordan takes his first shot of the night. That one won't go. Barkley comes away with a rebound.
I expect Charles to try to get every rebound in the place tonight.
He could really have a big night. He had a big night in Game 1. Game 2, he kind of fell back a little bit. And now coming home and needing this win, he may really explode tonight.
This is the guy. He must get going, Gilliam. They need the third scorer in this series. Barkley and Hawkins are getting their catches. They're doing enough damage. But they need Gilliam to pick it up.
Only 5 seconds on the shot clock. In it comes to Ricky Green, and they're going to call a foul on Paxson. So the first whistle of the night goes against Chicago. John Paxson called for his first.
That's always a tough foul, Pete, when two guys get their hands on the ball.
And it's tough when you've only got about 4 seconds left on that shot clock, too, with the ball way out there.
Go down inside to Barkley.
Look at the crowd he draws. He loses the ball. Last touch, though, by Chicago. It'll still belong to Philadelphia.
When Charles makes his catches tonight, he must react quickly. Chicago is excellent because of their quickness getting to the trap.
Great inbounds pass, but Hawkins missed a little short jump shot. And Michael Jordan brings the ball down for Chicago. Now, Jordan in this series has not really had to take over a game as he had to on 3 occasions last year in the best-of-5 set. Grant down low on Gilliam. Puts the jumper up over Gilliam. That won't go. Barkley comes away with another rebound. We are still scoreless here in the opening couple of minutes of quarter number 1. Pippen trying for the steal, but Green got away.
That like
comes down to Mahorn.
Get Mahorn involved early. Get him involved early because he can score.
He still only has 2 points in this series. And here's Scottie Pippen bringing the ball down.
You have to find out early if Mahorn can go for you.
Cartwright, who has really hurt Philadelphia in this series, gets the first 2 points of the night.
There is no threat of shot blocking up front by Philadelphia, so Cartwright has a major size advantage.
Jordan coming over to help out in Gilliam. He gets rid of it. Cross court to Hersey Hawkins. There's Jordan over there on him, but Hawkins gets the jumper. Hersey Hawkins gets the first Philadelphia bucket. We are tied at 2. And that's how you answer that, Michael Jordan. After a basket, something Chicago does so well, getting down court and scoring quickly after a made basket.
As soon as Hawkins, that shot left his hands, Jordan took off. He was guarding Hawkins.
Gilliam blocked from behind by Jordan. Cartwright over to Scottie Pippen. Chicago on the run. Nice pass underneath to Grant. He gets his first 2. And Chicago, who has jumped out on top early in all 3 games now, as Barkley on the other end draws the foul. Chicago leading at 6-2.
This is a pace beast that Jimmy told us before that he does not want to play. And that is, you score, we get it in quickly, push it up the floor, and score quickly. Because as the game will evolve, they have more horses than you do. And Jimmy Linen understands that he needs to rest his 3 big guys, and the way to rest them is to take their time in their half-court sets. You cannot get caught up in a major transition game here.
Well, there's Barkley at the line. He's been doing his normal numbers during these playoff series. In this particular series, scoring right at 27 points a game, pulling down 10 rebounds a game, but he needs help.
During the course of the year, Charles averaged 10 foul shots a game. In the playoffs now, in this series, he's also at 10.
Still looking for his first point of the night, and there it is. So it's now a 6-3 Chicago lead. You see the time left in quarter number 1. Pete Van Wert, Hubie Brown with you from Philadelphia. A must-win situation for the Sixers. They really must win 2. There's an illegal defense whistled by Jack Neese.
What you have is very poor interior defense by Philadelphia in the post-up areas, in the painted area in games 1 and 2. They must do a better job in denying the passes to the people in there. And if they're going to stay with the perimeter people, then you have got to handle your man one-on-one. Now, right now, Phil didn't like what happened over there on the side.
Comes in to Scottie Pippen. He quickly turns around, puts it up, rolls off the rim, though. Rick Mahorn pulls it away off to Ricky Green.
See, but that's too easy, Pete. The passes are going in there, and guys are catching the ball 3 to 4 feet from the basket.
Here's Barkley on Pippen. Everybody else clears out. Now Grant comes over to help out to get it out to Green. If Green can start to hit that outside shot, that would help Philadelphia tremendously. He's only scored 4 points in this series until that one.
Well, he and Turner need the uncontested jump shot from 18 to 20 feet.
Scottie Pippen's baseline jumper. He drills it, his first 2 of the night. 4 different Bulls have scored. And it's an 8-5 Chicago lead.
Nice.
And Gilliam got clobbered by Michael Jordan.
Because of the defensive quickness of Pippen and Michael Jordan and Grant, when you catch a ball someplace in the painted area tonight, you better catch it and dunk it quickly because they rotate as quick as Detroit. The only thing is they might not have as much shot blocking as Detroit.
You know, the point you made about the team defense that this Chicago club plays, really a good one, because I don't think a lot of people would even guess that Chicago is up as high as they were during the regular season in so many categories. Armand Gilliam getting his first point of the night. Look at Barkley coming in there in case that shot missed.
Well, see, that is legal in the NBA. As soon as the ball leaves the player's hand from the foul line, you can crash from the top of the circle down in.
Bulls by 1. A little over 8 minutes to go in the first quarter.
I see no double team. They're relying on Mahorn to stop them.
Cartwright shot a little strong. Rebound comes off to Hersey Hawkins. And the Sixers can grab the lead here. Hawkins, a three-pointer.
All right, he'll shoot that. He's one of the top guys in this league. He came in 7th this year in shooting percentage. Now, this is a real workout for Michael Jordan because they need his points, but he also must guard Hersey Hawkins.
First time tonight the Sixers have had the lead. Jordan tries to answer on the other end. That one goes up over the backboard. It goes back to the Sixers.
The main thing that Jimmy Linen is trying to do is to get the ball up the floor as quick as he can after a score to Hersey Hawkins. Now, if he can catch it and they have something open, fine. But if they do not, back it out. Let's milk the clock, get in our half-court sets, take advantage of Barkley and Gilliam down in low.
Ricky Green, who only hit 1 out of 5 field goal attempts in each of the first 2 games. Already hit one tonight, trying to hit another one. He does, and he was fouled. Paxson's going to be called for his second.
Now, Paxson has a legitimate complaint. Ricky Green put out that left leg, and he got hit right in the knee. Now, you're going to see this now. Now, just watch as the pass comes over. Here comes Paxson rotating. Now, watch the knee. You see how he kicked the knee out? Now, he was deliberately trying to get fouled. Now, in this league, back a couple years ago, maybe 3 to 4 years, this was a major thing that a lot of jump shooters were doing. We have not seen this happen very often. Now, unfortunately for Green, because of the angle that he had his leg extended and Paxson running at full force, he caught that knee as it was opened up.
We've got a timeout, 7:18 remaining in the first quarter. The Sixers on a 10-2 run have taken a 12-8 lead. Looks like Ricky Green will be able to stay in there, but here it is again.
Now just watch the left leg. You'll see. Now you see him. He's going to kick it out now. You see that? He's looking for the offense. He's looking for the foul for the three-point play. So it was a dangerous thing to do, especially because of his age at 36, the third oldest player to play in this league. All right, and you would hate to see a great year by him end with knee surgery right on the spot.
Well, he's already got more points tonight than he had in the first 2 games combined. He's got 5 tonight. He only scored 4 in the first 2. And Philadelphia is up by 5. Scottie Pippen from outside hits his 4-point. It's now a 3-point Philadelphia lead.
See, in that matchup, Barkley is laying off Pippen. Right now, Pippen is saying, Charles, you don't come out here. I'm going to knock in some jump shots.
A near turnover by Philadelphia.
Good hands by Mahorn that time. Now remember, Rick Mahorn is playing with a very serious back spasms today. He did not practice yesterday. The coaching staff very, very concerned with him. And all he could do today was walk through things. That was it.
Trying to get it down low to Barkley, but Pippen got a hand up, and the steal gives it right back to Chicago. Here come the Bulls in transition. Pippen, wall-to-wall, no. Rebound pulled away by Ron Anderson, who's checked in. The correction by Armand Gilliam. Now Hersey Hawkins comes up short. Rebound pulled away by Cartwright. Down it comes to Grant. Grant was thinking about it, kicks it back out to Paxson, and Paxson was just inside the line. It's a 2-point basket. All 5 Chicago starters have now scored. And the Philadelphia lead, a 1-point lead.
We have a lot of racehorse going on here. And if you are Philadelphia, you cannot allow Chicago to dribble a basketball from half court down in the paint on the fast break. You must stop it out high.
Again, they try to get Mahorn involved with the offense. And finally, Rick Mahorn is able to score his 2nd basket of his series.
Yeah, but he can score. He has a nice game down in low, and he has a nice jump shot. But let's face it, the lower back, I mean, how much can it take in his elevation of the shot?
Here's Grant over Gilliam. And Horace Grant, who has such a good inside game, now has 4 points. Bulls down by 1 to the Sixers.
Well, Grant and Cartwright have a major advantage.
Nice pass inside to Armand Gilliam, his first field goal. He has 4, and it's back up to a 3-point Philadelphia lead.
Charles is laying back off of Pippen. Pippen could take any outside shot that he wants.
Bill Jackson close to getting a technical called on him. He's going to Jack Deese the last 2 trips down.
Hard foul that time by Mahorn. No way is he going to allow Jordan to go up and make that twisting layup underneath. Now here comes your pass. Now just watch this, Michael. He loves to bring it up on the other side. See, Mahorn is saying, no, Michael, you're not getting the ball up high.
It'll be Jordan at the line. He is 18 of 22 from the line in this series. E.J. Armstrong has checked in, replacing Paxson. That's the first foul, by the way, called against the 76ers. And Jordan cashes in with the first one.
Now, during the year, Michael gets to the line 8 times a game, and he shoots 85%. But at playoff time, over the last 3 seasons, he gets up into double figures. He's averaging 11 foul shot attempts a game.
That's what's got to be a little scary for Jimmy Lynam, because Jordan's kind of been cruising the first 2 games. 29 points. Hasn't really exploded for one of those 40-plus games like he did 3 times against them last year.
Got to get it over here.
And they just do beat the time clock. Along the baseline, Barkley. His first field goal.
See, if Chicago's going to come down the floor and play you man-to-man, and you can get the ball over half court up to Charles, no one can play Charles one-on-one from the corner.
Trying to get it over to Cartwright.
Nice.
Cartwright couldn't hang on. Here comes Barkley.
This is where
He's going to take it home.
Yes.
Philadelphia by 5. 4.5 minutes to go, first quarter. And this crowd really getting into it now. That's what Sixer players were all talking about. Hoping to get the crowd very animated early. Another Chicago miss, another Mahorn rebound.
Barkley was gone. He was all the way down the other end of the floor, because every time that Pippen shoots, Barkley is taken off, and he must be careful now. Now just watch this play. Here's a great steal, and as Charles goes down, this is a 3-on-3 situation. He's going all the way, baby. One thing he'll always do in the open floor, he'll always change hands, cross over on you in some way.
Percy Hawkins didn't have the shot as he got up. It's it back to Ricky Green. Green missing. 8 for 13 from the field now for the Sixers. Barkley stepped in the line. The ball goes back to Chicago. Philadelphia up by 5, closing in on the 4-minute mark in quarter number 1.
Bad shot attempt by Green. He was really off balance, and they had plenty of time on the shot clock.
I think he thought there was less time on that shot clock than there was. About 11 seconds left on the clock.
See, Chicago's just taking their time. They're getting good shot opportunities. They're staying within their offense.
B.J. Armstrong had the ball stripped from behind by Ricky Green. Over it comes to Barkley.
There's that reverse.
But he almost lost the ball, so he has to pick it up and get it back outside. Now it comes right back to Charles.
They test him. When will they come? As soon as he dribbles, that's when they're coming on the double team.
Armand Gilliam hits the jumper. He has 6 points in this first quarter. And the lead up to 7 now for the Sixers.
When you double team Charles, he will always find the free man, but you must create the passing lane for him.
That's the 3rd assist for Charles Barkley, the 6th point for Armand Gilliam. The Sixers have a 7-point lead. Timeout, Chicago.
I would like to just show you Ricky Mahorn down inside working. Now you have to understand, sure, he's only had a couple of field goals, but he's only had 6 shot opportunities in 2 games. Now watch this nice pump move, and he takes Cartwright right into his chest. Because of his upper body strength, he can do that. Now, how much of a pounding he can take, we really don't know. Because when you're backing a guy down, now just look at his stats. The points for this series and the rebounds, you know that there is something radically wrong with him physically. All right? Now, when you back people down in the post area, the defensive guy is hitting you in the lower back with his forearm. Now, how much of that can you take from a guy Cartwright size, 7 foot, 255 pounds?
You just saw that field goal stat. Philadelphia shooting the lights out of the ball in this first quarter. Also, the big men tonight have outscored Chicago's big men 13-10 and out-rebounded them 5-4. That's where they were lagging in their performance in games 1 and 2.
Hey, Philly's doing a nice job gambling on the passing lanes and getting a piece of the ball.
Jordan over Hawkins. Nope, wouldn't go for him. Rebound comes back out.
There it is again.
Oh, Armstrong got a hand up, though.
Come on, Charles. You must hustle back. You can't give him a 5-on-4.
Cartwright's going to take it over Mahorn, and Bill Cartwright hits another one from outside. He has 4 on the night, and it's a 5-point Philadelphia lead.
See, Charles can't display his temper here, okay? He was exasperated because he was open. But you've got to run back. That just cost him a field goal.
Armstrong on Ricky Green now. He'll lose it down to Armand Gilliam. Working on Grant. Down to 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Down to 3 seconds left on the shot clock. 1 second left in the shot clock. Watch out for this one. Michael Jordan in the open court has 6. And it's a 3-point lead. Jordan now 2 out of 5 from the field.
The Philadelphia offense, there is one thing which has been a major negative outside of the shooting. They hold on to the basketball too long, Pete, and then it allows Chicago to trap and then rotate.
Andre Turner getting set to check in. Ricky Green will be getting a breather. Next dead ball.
See, there it is
again.
Can't do that.
Grant gets it right back from Michael for 2 more.
See, every pick and roll, Chicago is trapping. The dribbler must either pick up his dribble or go away from the trap. Stop dribbling into the trap.
Philadelphia's lead now a 1-point lead. Michael Jordan now with 4 assists. That one coming after the steal.
Wants a clear out here. Nice pass.
Gets it to Gilliam. That was a beautiful pass by Barkley. Gilliam came away uncovered after Grant left him to come over and double team him.
It's so hard at this level to get the pinpoint passes through 2 big men who are trapping you. But Charles is one of the best.
8 points now for Armand Gilliam, but Michael Jordan trying to take over a bit. For Chicago has picked up 8. Still a 1-point Philadelphia lead.
Michael Jordan slithers through the traps. All right, Pete.
He shows you something different every time you see him play.
They're trying to find, Ricky Green now has fed the post twice from above the foul line at a very difficult angle. When you are feeding post people, if you will just break the foul line, go down a little bit to the corner, 1 step, you increase your passing angle, and you can pass all day long to the post people.
Ron Anderson and Andre Turner have checked in for the Sixers. Ricky Green, Armand Gilliam are out. Michael trying to get the pass across the court. Out of bounds off Chicago. Philadelphia gets it back. Sixers up by 1. 48.5 seconds left in the first quarter.
That was excellent pass by Jordan. Right through Cartwright's hands. He should have had that.
This little guy is giving Philadelphia some quality minutes. After Johnny Dawkins went down, they picked him up, but he's really gotten more and more playing time as the season's gone along.
Good call that time. See, when Ron Anderson comes in the game at small forward, Pippen now plays Ron Anderson. Well, that's a little bit different than Barkley. You're just accustomed to coming down and planting yourself on one side. Now, it's a concerned coach right there, because 2 guys you do not want to get in foul trouble at any time in any playoff game are Pippen and Michael Jordan. They lead you in every category.
Here's another guy who's had a tough shooting series, Ron Anderson, at the line. He missed his first one. Anderson in the first game only 3 of 11 from the field. In the second game only 5 of 11.
See, by Anderson coming in the game, that makes Pippen play everything honest. Plus, Pippen must exert a lot of energy in running the floor with Anderson.
Philadelphia leads it by 2. Michael. Another beautiful move. 2 more points. He has 10 in the first quarter, and we are tied at 26. Jordan now 4 to 7 from the field.
See, no plays are called there with Chicago. They come down the floor, and wherever the basketball is passed, they have options out of it. That's very difficult to defend. Nice pass.
Another nice pass. Ricky Mahorn, though, couldn't get it to go for him. A rebound pulled away finally by Cartwright. And there's the horn ending quarter number 1. So Philadelphia still unable to grab a first quarter lead. They've been behind once and now tied twice in the first 3 games of this series. It's 26-all after 1. Along with Hubie Brown, Pete Van Weren back with you from the Spectrum. We are all tied up. Quarter number 2 about to begin. Manute Bol checks into the Philadelphia lineup along with Turner, Anderson, Hawkins. And Will Perdue is checking in for Chicago. Pippen. Craig Hodges also out there now for the Bulls. B.J. Armstrong.
In that first quarter, Chicago shot 55%, Philadelphia 63%. Now, can Philadelphia keep that torrid pace up? I would say no. They're going to have to improve their half-court game. They have 5 turnovers in the first quarter. That is way too many, especially when you're trying to feed the post people.
Good defense played that time by Scottie Pippen to keep him from getting the jump shot away. Committed the foul. That's 2 on Pippen.
See, this is a different cover for him. He's accustomed to having Barkley catch it and stand around and wait for the double team. As soon as Ron Anderson catches, he's putting it down and going, or he's shooting on the catch.
He was looking for the shot again. Again, good defense played by Chicago. They really have done a good job on Anderson since he's been in there, and they quickly come down the court. Scottie Pippen with 6 points now. Chicago has the lead back, 28-26.
They have 10 points on the fast break already because of bad passing. Now, right there, they trapped that situation. The post guy was wide open. Bad pass situation.
The double team, the triple team now. Charles Barkley, and I'll tell you what. If anybody can muscle his way through 3 trees, that man can.
Now, look, all he did was carry Will Perdue, 240 pounds, and then Horace Grant at 220. He just carried these guys right to the hole.
He's amazing.
Well, the nice thing about it is, see, Charles never throws anything up soft. When he made that move and he split, he dunked that hard with 2 hands because he wants the 3-point opportunity.
And he gets the 3 points, giving him 8 on the day. He's got 8 points, couple of rebounds, 4 assists. And the Sixers have the lead back, 29-28, opening minute, quarter number 2.
And Turner gives you a nice pressure on their point guard right now. Scottie Pippen fell down on the floor. Ron Anderson on top of him. He was looking for a call.
Will Perdue is going to take it from the top of the circle and hit it. Purdue's also had a very good series coming off the bench behind Cartwright.
And New Ball is holding his head. Well, that shouldn't shock you. You know, Perdue is a very good low post scorer, and he has a medium jump shot. You should know that.
Turner draws the double team. Down to 5 seconds left in the shot clock. Manute's going to put up a little running hook and hits it. Diagram that one.
We have nothing to say. I am speechless on it. He shot a rocket.
I don't even know what to call that shot.
Nice pass.
But there's Manute making his defensive presence felt. This time a foul is going to be called against him. We're going to have to come up with a name for that shot. It's not exactly a sky hook. It's not exactly a jump.
Watch the skip. There's his little skip off the wrong foot, and he banks it in.
Sort of looked like he was on a pogo stick there.
The difference between the 2 teams tonight, the passing is so easy for Chicago into their post-up people. Anytime that Philadelphia tries to make a pass, they're getting a piece of it. Chicago already has 12 assists.
And that's apparently been true throughout this entire series, because we could look at the assist averages for the point guards for Philadelphia coming into this game. Green at 1.5. Turner at 2.5.
Now they need that from Ball. They need the shot blocking to get some easy baskets.
And they need that man to get hot from outside. Ron Anderson. That one wouldn't fall for him, though. Purdue pulled away the rebound. Here's Scottie Pippen on the run.
Dribble. Must stop this guy. This guy is really a creator. He
Anderson was able to get in there and do just that.
Pippen leads the team in assists.
Grant didn't get it to go. Manute pulls away the rebound. Andre Turner on the run. Sixers up by 1. 9:40 remaining first half. Anderson.
There you go.
Finally hits his first one.
That's right. If Manute will just rebound and kick it out long with Anderson in there and Hawkins, they have 2 excellent 3-point scorers.
33-30. Philadelphia by 3. Hodges from long range. Nope. Rebound pulled away by Armand Gilliam.
He always holds the ball, and that stops their fast break. He did it in the Milwaukee series as well.
Quick hands that time by B.J. Armstrong. Will Perdue came away with a loose ball. Andre Turner called for the foul, his first.
I know it sounds like we're beating a dead horse on this passing, but right now Philadelphia could be up by at least 10 to 12 points. Their passing in traffic is absolutely atrocious.
And they still have a 3-point lead.
That's right.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, Hubie Brown and I will be selecting the Budweiser Player of the Game. Scottie Pippen over Ron Anderson. Scottie Pippen with 8 points now in the first half. It's a 1.6er lead.
Scottie, in the early part of his career, his outside shot was questionable. But now he knocks it down regularly. Plus, he's added the fact that he's a good three-point shooter. It's a nice matchup right here.
Stripped away by B.J. Armstrong.
Stop the dribbling.
Blocked by Hersey Hawkins.
All right, 4 on 3. 4 on 3.
Another pass. Perhaps made inadvertently to the wrong person.
When you run 4 on 3 in a trailer, the trailer goes right to the box because what it does, now watch the block coming in here right now. Nice play by Hersey Hawkins. When you trail, you come right down the middle. If you don't have the jump shot at the top of the circle, you go right to the box. That would have cleared Purdue out of there.
Charles Barkley getting ready to check back in. That's a three-pointer if it goes. Wouldn't go. The rebound attempt by Armand Gilliam. Wouldn't go. Bulls on the run. Scottie Pippen. Basket wouldn't go, but charge a foul to Ron Anderson is first.
You know, when people think of Chicago, everyone thinks that Michael Jordan handles the ball in the middle of the fast break. But it's not. It's Scottie Pippen. Pippen is the creator on this basketball team. During the course of the year, he averaged 6.2 assists as a small forward, and then the second guy on assists was Jordan. So when he's out there, he's difficult to control because of his size and the fact that he can take off at the foul line and slam dunk you.
Charles Barkley has checked in, replacing Hersey Hawkins. Here comes Michael Jordan back into the lineup. And B.J. Armstrong will sit down. So now you're going to have a Jordan-Ron Anderson matchup, Hubie.
Well, there's no doubt that Michael must work hard in this series. When he's at the second guard, he has Hawkins. At small forward, he has Anderson. Here's your press. They look for that first trap. Look at this. They're doing an extra kick. There are no outlets.
Finally, Gilliam comes out to help out. Anderson for two. He has 5. 35-34, Philadelphia. 7th lead change we've had in this first half. 7:45 to go.
Michael wants to operate here. He wants to play two-man with Stacey King.
He's got Anderson on him now. He takes the shot over Anderson. Wouldn't go. The tip wouldn't go. Rebound pulled away by Barkley, and they're going to get a foul call on Stacey King.
Charles is so active tonight. You know, you almost want to milk him a lot because not only is he boarding for you, he's going in the open floor, you know, being one of the fast break people. And when he's in this kind of a mode, you just don't want him to go to sleep on you. Don't forget that he's in the game every, like, third time down the floor.
Gilliam guarded by Purdue, puts the jumper up over Purdue, and a whistle. That's the first call against Will Purdue.
See, Gilliam is a good offensive threat. There's no doubt about that. He shoots 49%. He's also 82 on the foul line. And since he has come to this team, his numbers are the same as at Charlotte when they made the trade. Juminski for Gilliam. He had 15 points, and he's averaging right around 15 to 16 here in Philadelphia. But the thing that you're looking for is you are looking for him to become more physical and board and be a little tougher on your movements when you have people on your back. Be a little stronger.
He now has 10 points. Sixers up by 3. Game 3 of this best-of-7 series. Philadelphia trying to win this first one. Chicago a 2-0 lead. Jordan with Anderson and Manute Bol along the baseline. They come back out. They did a good job on Michael that time. Illegal D, number 2, called against the Sixers.
Oh, boy. And I'll tell you, that was a tough call. And I'll tell you why. They double-teamed on one side. They double-teamed at half-court. And the guy that they called it on was Gilliam, who was on the other side of the lane, and his man was out, and it was questionable whether he was above the... We're going to show you the last play. Here comes Will Purdue to give Jordan a pick. He's not going to take it. He's going to go baseline. And now watch how Bol plays it. Bol plays it soft, and now he helps trap with Ron Anderson. They chase Jordan to the corner.
Now, when the ball comes back out to the top of the circle, you're going to see 2 Philadelphia guys out here. All right, now, before the ball is rotated, they called an illegal defense. Give me a break already.
Very quick whistle there.
Gilliam was out of the lane, and he was on his way coming out. Wow, what a tough call.
And it's a technical, being the second one called in this first half. Don't forget, part 2 of our doubleheader tonight. What a series that has been. The Lakers and Golden State tied up at 1-1. Bob Neal, Doug Collins will be out at the Oakland Coliseum to bring you that one. Jordan will shoot the tee for Chicago. 11 points for Michael Jordan.
I'm Jimmy Lyon, and I'd be very, very upset on that call.
There's your score and time remaining in quarter number 2. Pippen, Jordan, Purdue, Stacey King, Craig Hodges on the court now for Chicago.
They get an offensive foul down on the baseline there on that screen.
Hodges called for it, his first.
Pippen set a screen for Hodges, and Hodges was not free. He grabbed his defensive man to spring himself open.
Turner, Anderson, Barkley, Manute Bol, and Armand Gilliam on the court for the 76ers. Anderson with Jordan right there.
They're trying to take advantage of Will Purdue's, lack of agility. Nice move.
And Armand catches it with a field goal. He has 12. He has 4 to 6 now from the field. Philadelphia up by 4.
Anderson laying off of Michael Jordan out there. That's rather interesting. Darren Michael will take the jump shot. Nice steal.
Stolen right back, and there's Michael wide open. Banks it home. His first field goal of quarter number 2. He has 13 in the night. It's back to a 2-point Philadelphia lead. 39-37. 6:08 remaining first half. Charles muscles his way in. The jumper wouldn't go. Charles takes a spill. Ball belongs to Chicago.
I want to go back to what I said earlier. Charles is all upset. He thought he got fouled on the play. See, anytime you have a great scorer, and they do not get involved in a play every 3 times down the floor, they have a tendency to drift on you. And especially in a big game like tonight, they need Barkley to be, fed. Even if they double team him, at least he's in the action.
He's only taken 4 shots tonight.
That's right.
So you got to get him a little more involved than that.
If they double team, fine. At least he's touching the ball.
Craig Hodges buries the jumper. His first 2 of the night. We are tied at 39.
They're doing what we call a 75-foot little press, man-to-man, and then if you dribble the ball, they'll come for a double team.
And they're making it tough on the Philadelphia point guards to do anything when they do get across the timeline.
Good, the time is running.
Gilliam takes it over Stacey King, and Armand Gilliam's played big in his first half on offense. He has 14. Philadelphia up again by 2.
Well, he's answering the call here.
Jordan got himself open for 2 more. He has 15. We're tied at 41. 4th time we've been tied tonight. Jordan 6 for 10 from the field.
If you're going to play Michael Jordan on a pick and roll that soft, by meaning the new ball, he'll get that shot every time coming off the pick.
And Armand Gilliam again. 2 more for Armand Gilliam. Chicago wanted an offensive foul called against Gilliam that time, but instead he winds up with a 16th point, giving the lead back to Philadelphia. Jordan wide open again. I'll tell you what, you can't leave him open like that.
Well, they dared him all through the first quarter also, Pete, and, half of this quarter. Now, he wasn't forcing anything. Let's face it, everyone says in this series, he's just floating around, and he's only scoring 29 a game. Okay, floating.
Anderson's going to take it. He was straddling the line, wouldn't go. Rebound was kept alive by Barkley. That was a good play by Barkley. He kicked it off of Grant. The ball still belongs to Philadelphia. Mahorn checking back in, along with Hersey Hawkins. Anderson and Manute Bol sit down for Philadelphia. And here comes Bill Cartwright back in, replacing Stacey King for Chicago. Pippen. Hodges comes over to help out. They get it outside to Andre Turner. His three-pointer wouldn't go. Rebound comes out deep to Barkley.
Now it's nice movement by Mahorn, keeping that alive.
Andre Turner throwing that ball away. And there's another Sixer turnover, giving the ball back to Chicago. Turner really had nowhere to go that time, getting into the paint with all those big men there.
He's just too quick when he gets trapped. Rather than taking the trap and then feeling it out, he's trying to make a quick pass.
Hodges, no. Mahorn pulls away another one. He has 3 rebounds in the first half. He's going to bring the ball down himself. And back and all.
See, Hodges has done a very nice job on Turner. They're not double-teaming any post guy other than Barkley.
Now Mahorn's going to go in against Cartwright. Comes up short. Rebound pulled away. Pippen. You have a 3-on-2. Chicago break. Look out for Michael. Another unbelievable move for Michael Jordan. He has 19. And the Bulls have the lead back. Jordan's at his last 4 field goal attempts. 45-43 Bulls.
See, when you get into this kind of a game where there's a lot of pushing and shoving and that, it's the old story. Who gets the easy baskets? And right now in this first half, even though they're struggling, Chicago has got at least 14 points on fast breaks.
Offensive foul called against Charles Barkley. A timeout will be taken here by Chicago. 2:52 remaining. 45-43. Now there's your score here at the Spectrum. 2:52 remaining second quarter. Bulls up by 2. And here's tonight's GMC Truck scoreboard. Some late scores for you. Late because their games were played last night. Portland beating Utah 118-116. Utah made a big comeback in that game, but Portland leads that series 2-0. Our next game coming up, the Lakers and Golden State. Bob Neal, Doug Collins will have that one for you. That series tied at 1. It moves now to Oakland.
Now the success of the Chicago traps. We want to show you an interesting thing. Philadelphia has 10 turnovers, which have caused them to lose 14 points on fast breaks by Chicago. They must solve the trapping. Anytime you get trapped, you take your time, you accept the trap, and then you move it. Then when you pass out of it, you have an advantage 4 against 3. One thing the defensive teams that trap want you to do is either jump up in the air or try to pass quickly.
Paxson's checked back in for Chicago. And as he got the ball inside, a whistle from Ed Rush.
Personal foul is on Rick Mahorn.
Rick Mahorn called for it in second.
Well, that's a tough one down inside because that puts them into the penalty right now.
And at the line, Bill Cartwright. He's really had 2 good games in this series.
Well, you know, it's kind of amusing when you say guys are saying, boy, well, you know, but Bill Cartwright is really scoring. Well, you know, the guy has been in the league 12 years. He's averaged 15 points a game. He shot 54% and 78 from the line. What do they think? He's
surprise,
a rookie?
huh? What a surprise.
Right. And you take out the 4 years where he had surgery on the stress fractures. Come on, just think of what his stats were before that.
And when you look at his teammates, you realize he really didn't have to score much for Chicago during the regular season.
Exactly. Everyone has a role.
Ricky Green's had a hot hand tonight for the first time in this series. He now has 7 points. That's a 1-point Chicago lead.
Now, he's kind of limping, though. You know, that left knee is definitely causing him a problem.
Jordan holding it, looking over Hersey Hawkins. Now he'll take the shot over Hawkins, and he drills it. He has 5 field goals in this quarter, 21 points now in the game. He's hit his last 5 field goal attempts.
I think he's accepting the challenge, not only of the open jump shot, but we have something on the floor here, but also he's trying to prove now that even when you're on top of me, I still will knock it down.
For those of you that had a glimpse of what that was on the floor, it was a huge safety pin. The mascot was out here during the timeout. A minute 48 to go in the half. 48-45, Chicago up by 3.
See, they're running Hawkins off these baseline screens to try to knock Jordan out of there.
Michael is staying right on him. No whistle. Ball belongs to Chicago. Scottie Pippen. Now low to Grant. Back outside Pippen. There's Michael. He has been red hot, hitting 5 in a row. Now he misses one. Gilliam comes away with a rebound. 5 boards now for Gilliam.
Fell asleep.
Jordan almost stole it.
Yep. Michael got a piece of it.
Closing in on the 1-minute mark here in quarter number 2.
You can't forget this guy. You've got to get him involved. Nice.
He gets it over to Gilliam again. Gilliam missing the little chip shot from about 4 feet out. Scottie Pippen comes away with it. Under a minute to go. Pippen goes wall to wall. Basket wouldn't fall, but he does earn a trip to the free throw line.
This is what we brought out in the first half, Pete. When you're down inside that painted area, you cannot throw up soft stuff. Charles made a perfect pass to Gilliam in the painted area. That pass should have been caught and slam dunked with 2 hands because Mahorn had Cartwright right there. You cannot throw a fadeaway jump shot when you're 4 feet from the basket.
That's twice tonight that Armand's done that.
That is the 4th field goal that they have missed in the paint, and that's what we mean by throwing stuff up soft. You have no one to blame but yourself. And then they allow this guy, Pippen, on the line to take the ball from half court down inside the painted area without stopping the dribble. Now you're playing Chicago's basketball.
Coming up at halftime, our Prudential halftime reporter, Ernie Johnson, joined in our Atlanta studios by Milwaukee coach Del Harris for first half highlights and a preview of tonight's Lakers-Warriors game. That's all in our Prudential halftime report. Just a little while away now. It's 4 in a row from the free throw line for Scottie Pippen. 5-point lead for Chicago, their biggest lead of the night. Barkley missing the baseline jumper. He's getting a little discouraged.
Yeah, he is. But you see, you can't do that now. You're inside of a minute to play. You want to keep this close. You're only 5 down.
Oh, my. If that goes, nope.
Easy.
And Mahorn's going to be called for the foul. Good call.
Yeah, and that was a very good call and a technical foul. Okay? Now you see, you're inside of 31 seconds to go right now. You take a bad shot at the one end. You come down here. You get the rebound. And now just watch this. Now you're going to see good pressure. Now as he clears the rebound, he steps down. Now watch what he does. Boom. You cannot do that. Okay? You cannot do this in his leg. If he would have hit him with that elbow above the shoulders in the head, that would have meant 2 shots and you're out of here. Now, you know, Rick can be as mad as he wants, except for one thing. That was a dumb foul.
And that's his 3rd foul, plus the technical puts Jordan at the line. Michael now at 22 points in this first half.
Now, see, you'll see it for yourself. Now, just watch. See, you get the rebound. Now watch. Boom. You see, you just not. Or why? Why? You have the basketball. Come up now and work a good play.
You force Jordan to miss a shot. You get the rebound, and it still costs you the ball.
That's right.
And Chicago down a 10-2 run, 51-45.
Play the good teams. You cannot make foolish mistakes and miss easy shots along with it.
No whistle. Ball belongs to Philadelphia.
He's going all the way. Okay.
They're going to call the offensive foul.
Good call. He tried to cross over. Paxson is really hurt. I mean, when you take a charge from Charles, he was really much. See, Charles isn't saying a thing. Now, you're going to watch this now. See, watch as he crosses over. Paxson, see? Paxson's there, see? There's no way. Charles did not have an angle here. You wish that he did, okay? And he's not complaining. See, Paxson took it. Charles had no place to go.
So a pair of really costly fouls for Philadelphia. One on Rick Mahorn, one on Charles Barkley. It's Barkley's second. Paxson's going to have to go back to the locker room, it looks like. It appears to be his right wrist.
Well, he took a real shot. Plus, he really hit hard once he went backwards. I mean, he went from the foul line all the way almost out of bounds.
Philadelphia now has turned the ball over 7 times in the second quarter. Chicago has turned it over only once. Bulls leading it by 6. They can play for a final shot now.
That's right. They're a very intelligent basketball team. They stay within their offenses. They're murder in transition, which is caused by their excellent defense.
Jordan around the big set by Carter. And a loose ball foul is going to be called underneath.
Now you see,
it goes against Chicago.
You know what's sad here? Charles just, showed up Jackie Neese, the referee. I tell you what, you can't win. I'm telling you right now, you cannot win. All right, now just watch. See, sure he got fouled. They made the call. Now, when Charles and the Philadelphia Sixers look at the 2 plays that they're complaining about, they're going to see that they're wrong.
Scottie Pippen's 3rd. Barkley at the line. Chicago leading at 51-45. Barkley with 8 points so far in this first half. He's now 3 out of 4 from the line. Only 3 out of 5 from the field. He's only shot the ball from the field 5 times in the first half.
And it isn't just because they're double teaming him, Pete. He really has not had that many catches of the basketball. Now, right now, you cannot fall asleep. There are 2 seconds to go. That's a long time.
Barkley now at 10. Scottie Pippen from just inside midcourt. No, and the horn sounds ending the first half. But the Chicago Bulls, trying to win their 3rd straight in this series, have come to Philadelphia. And at halftime, they lead the 76ers at Chicago 51, Philadelphia 47. Our Prudential halftime report is next.
They have played 24 minutes at the Spectrum. The Chicago Bulls with a 51-47 lead over the Philadelphia 76ers in their Eastern Conference semifinal. The Sixers trying to win when they're down 2-0. This is the Prudential halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson along with Milwaukee Bucks head coach Del Harris. Beginning of the show tonight, we talk about the things the Philadelphia 76ers must do if they're going to take a game in this series. Let's take them again. Barkley and Mahorn have to be fired up, have to be energetic. What do you think?
I think we saw some energy there in terms of some bumping and grinding. Barkley has done a good job. Mahorn with his back is hurting, but Gilliam has filled in where they've needed some help from Mahorn, and it's helped a lot to keep them close.
16 points from him. Ron Anderson off the bench, the other thing.
He hasn't been able to get going. He only has 5 points, and again, for them to be ahead, he's got to come in 8-10 points at a half.
And also it's the Philadelphia defense, not on Michael Jordan as much as playing Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, because Jordan is going to get what he gets.
No matter what you do.
Pippen has 12 and 5, so they haven't solved him either, and so again they're behind at halftime.
Now, as far as the Chicago Bulls go, you're playing defense on Charles Barkley, and I know when you face the Sixers, you got a number of different ways you attack this, when you double them and that kind of thing.
Well, let's look at this on the telestrator here. This is a very interesting situation here because Barkley is isolated over here, and due to the zone rules in the NBA, the defense has to be on this side of the middle of the court. So now they have a choice as to whether they're going to trap Barkley or not. All right? They decide they're going to trap. They could come right here from the top from Paxson, or they could come from one of these big people. They decide to come from the big man as Barkley puts the ball down. Now let's let Barkley put the ball down just to where he starts to pick it up. Right there, hold the ball. Now, Barkley has the ball here. We have the double team right here. Over here, we have Green, who was spotted up right here, sliding into view. And in the defense, we have 3 Chicago players, Paxson, Jordan, and Cartwright, who is just off the screen, each playing half a man. Right here, Paxson has to have one arm in this lane to Gilliam and one arm out here to the top. Jordan is playing half a man here, half a man here. Cartwright is playing solely right now on Mahorn, but he's also going to be taking Gilliam. Should he cut in there, he's half a man. All right, Barkley, who's a master at it, reads the opening, kicks it out. Ricky Green knocks in the jumper.
One thing Ricky Green hasn't been doing much of, he was 2 for 10 in this series coming in, but he canned that jumper. You take a look at the first half summary here, and you see 53% shooting for the Sixers, which is much better than they have been shooting. The Bulls, again, 50%. What else stands out here?
Well, that's a big factor, certainly the turnover situation. I think that the 2 teams that are most likely to end up in the finals of the playoffs this year are the 2 teams that I think are the quickest to the ball, and that is Chicago and Portland. And again, where Chicago can get to that passing lane, they're one of the top steals teams in the league, right? Along with the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, and the Bulls. Yes, nice point, Coach. Very nice.
Well, we're going to run something here pretty soon.
Yeah, I think so. So anyway, Chicago Bulls trying to take a 3-0 lead over the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, Game 2 of our doubleheader tonight, the LA Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. Man, what a beaut they had the other night as the Warriors even that series at a game apiece. Bob Neal and Doug Collins will call it for us tonight. Let's go to them now in Oakland, guys.
Thank you, Ernie. It was one of the most entertaining games of the year, no question about it. A 1-point come from behind Warriors victory over the Los Angeles Lakers, and it had all the drama you could expect, Doug Collins, particularly the shootout between Magic Johnson and Chris Mullin. What a night.
Well, you know, Chris Mullin defied all the odds. When you take time off and you're not completely 100%, your shooting is one of the first things that's supposed to go. 16 for 21, 4 for 4 from the three-point line. The best shooting exhibition I've ever seen in my years in the NBA. As for Magic Johnson, 44 points. Ironically, the top 3 playoff performances of Magic Johnson, point-wise in the NBA, 44 and 2 43-point games were all losses. I think that the greatness of the Lakers is getting Byron Scott, Divac, Worthy involved. Only 3 points by Worthy in the second half. I think you'll see more balance from them. As far as for Golden State, I think Don Nelson would love to see the shooting continue.
No kidding. They both teams shot better than 53%. This place will be rocking tonight. Stay with us for Game 3 in the series between the Lakers and the Warriors in Oakland. This is Bob Neal for Doug Collins. Let's go back to Ernie in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, guys. That is Game 2 of our doubleheader tonight. The Lakers and the Golden State Warriors. And just ahead on the Prudential halftime report, the Men of Steel. They are thieves, and we'll show them to you next.
And now, Albert stole it. Albert's going to get a layup. He's going to win it. He jams it home with 3.1 seconds remaining.
At the Spectrum, Chicago with a 51-47 lead over the Philadelphia 76ers as the Prudential halftime report continues. The coach gave you a hint just a few minutes ago what was coming up. The Milwaukee Bucks #1 in steals this year. Anybody in this league will tell you it takes an art to make the steal, as you'll see with the Men of Steel.
Big steal, it kills him. It's worse than the three-pointer.
Price has his pocket picked by Isaiah all alone.
You have to be deceptive.
Steal by Drexler.
What a steal is, it's a legal gamble.
It's a challenge to commit the perfect crime, to seek out an unwilling victim from a crowd and pick their pockets in front of thousands of witnesses.
I try to concentrate and broaden my vision when people are coming down the court. You get used to the way things seem to go, and every now and then you can just guess right and get a steal.
Knicks down by 8. West across the midcourt, loses to Frazier, drives ahead of the field, down the lane.
Like the legendary thief of the 1920s, the man they call Clyde, Walt Frazier, perfected the art of the steal for the Knicks in the 1970s.
Stealing off the dribble is a lost art. I did it in the context of the game by lulling a guy to sleep. It's devastating because in a key moment in the game, you can turn the game around by making a steal.
Mo Cheek's rap sheet reads a mile long. 13 seasons, 4 All-Star appearances. He's the all-time leader in steals with over 2,000.
Sometimes a steal can ignite a team. Sometimes it can win a ball game. Sometimes you can just change the flow of the game with just one flick of a ball.
Here's Jordan, a steal from Dumars, takes it in for the dunk.
One man of steel who truly leaps tall buildings in a single bound is, of course, Chicago's Michael Jordan. On defense, Jordan often leaves opponents grasping for air.
I know when he's guarding me, I have to watch not to put the ball out too far because he's just so quick.
Richmond gets it stolen by Jordan. Jordan on the steal. Look out.
The defensive end is where I really want some recognition because it takes a little bit off of that. I just shoot and I just score and I'm just an offensive player. That's something that I don't want to be remembered as.
Milwaukee Bucks master thief Alvin Robertson can always be found near the scene of the crime by holding the NBA record for steals in a season with 301.
And here's another steal by Robertson.
Stealing the ball just comes from being aggressive. When that point guard is coming across the court and he's calling out a play, you pretty much know what the play is going to be, where the ball is going to go, and you kind of set them up, just like a good poker game.
And now, Albert stole it. Albert's going to get a layup. He's going to win it. He jams it home with 3.1 seconds remaining. Alvin Robertson steal.
There we go. We close it out with your guy.
Yeah, well, Alvin led the league again in steals this year, so he's the big reason why our team has been so good at steals.
Guys, got to have gotten your wear number 21 on your bunch. Now, we got the second half just ahead. The Chicago Bulls and the Philadelphia 76ers, Game 1 of our Friday night doubleheader. It's coming right up.
Pete Van Weren, Hubie Brown back with you from the Spectrum. Well, Hubie in Game 1, Chicago had a 17-point lead at the half. Game 2, a 9-point lead. Here in Game 3, a 4-point lead. But really, Philadelphia having trouble with just what you talked about at the top of our broadcast, that Chicago defense.
Well, the traps are really killing them, Pete. They forced them into 12 turnovers. Out in the open floor, Chicago has scored 16 points. Now, the other factor is, and this is big, Pippen and Jordan have 27 shot opportunities, giving them 34 points. Your two horses, Barkley and Hawkins, only have 10 shot opportunities, and you must be able to get the basketball to your two premier guys.
And that, again, is a tribute to the fine Chicago defense.
Absolutely.
They have denied the ball to the two big scorers on this team, Barkley and Hawkins, and if that happens in the second half, you're going to have a 3-0 Chicago lead. It is Green, Mahorn, Barkley, Hersey, Hawkins, and Armand Gilliam.
What's interesting about all this, Pete, is Chicago is really not a big shot blocking team with their first unit, but they are so quick to the traps and they gamble. There are plenty of people that are open in good scoring opportunities, but you must take your time and deliver the pass.
For Chicago, Pippen, Grant, Jackson, Jordan, Bill Cartwright. Green, who was trying to warm up there in that first half, misses the first shot of quarter number 3. Chicago with a rebound. Michael Jordan giving it off to Scottie Pippen. Chicago by 4. Opening minute of the third quarter. Chicago trying to win their third straight in this best-of-7 series.
They just stay within. This is called a triangle offense. You put 3 guys on one side of the floor.
Will wind up taking the shot from the baseline. Mahorn wincing as he came down with a rebound. I think that back is bothering him a lot more than he's admitting. He's trying to play with those back spasms, though. They find it open. Hersey Hawkins for 3, but it wouldn't go. And here's Scottie Pippen in transition.
Got to get to the ball.
Jackson blocked by Hawkins.
Nice.
That is 4 blocks tonight for Hersey Hawkins.
What a beautiful play by Hersey Hawkins. Now, it was a 3-on-2. Hersey really comes across. Watch him get this ball right there. Now, he's in the top 10 guys in the league in steals, and he does a very, very good job in shot blocking for a player his size. He's only 6'3".
And it comes to Grant. Pippen will take it over Barkley. Wouldn't go, but there's another offensive rebound for Chicago, and that's what killed Philadelphia in Game 2. Chicago getting those offensive boards and the putbacks. Cartwright got that one.
Cartwright came from the foul line down, Pete. Gilliam just allowed him to come in. He never put a body on him.
6-point lead now for Chicago.
Pippen doing a good job on Barkley.
Barkley had the ball batted away as he got into the paint.
6 seconds.
Barkley will take it from out in 3-point land. That wouldn't go. This time the rebound pulled away by Bill Cartwright, his 5th. Off to Michael Jordan.
Scottie Pippen is limping here. His right leg. He's got a problem. He's still back here over half court. It's his knee. Right here.
Knee.
Watch Barkley take him. Yep.
Barkley almost lost the ball after getting by Scottie Pippen, but he does get the 2 points to ball for him. He has 12.
You see, Charles is walking up the floor. His man is up here with the basketball. They're scrambling to pick up for him.
Jordan with 2 Sixers right on him.
You can't do that. I mean, you just can't cry and say, I want a foul shot on that opportunity. Because now they just get the ball up the floor. The rest of the other 4 guys are scrambling to pick up your man.
Chicago leading at 55-49. Comes down to Barkley again, operating inside. This time he will go to the line. Bill Cartwright called for his 2nd. Well, they've got to do a better job of getting the ball to Barkley in the second half than they did in the first half.
Yeah, they did. That is a good lob up over the top. And what they're trying to do with Barkley is front him on all post-ups, forcing you to throw a lob. Then they bring the center from the other side, and that's exactly what we saw. Trying to trap or pick the pass off when you throw the lob.
Barkley at the free throw line tonight is 4 to 5, 4 to 6 now.
Well, if there is
49 Chicago.
There's a major weakness in Charles' game. It is the foul line, and over the course of the year, he only shot 72%. Now, for a guy who gets 10 opportunities a game, that really pulls down your scoring average.
And he missed both of those attempts. He still has 12 points. It's still a 6-point lead. He's 4 of 7 from the line tonight.
You're really in within striking distance here. You can really do a good job and win this ball game. But you have to everyone has to pull together and give 100% for the entire 48.
Pippen's feeling much better. Gets the shot away. Another offensive rebound for Chicago. Philadelphia really needs to do a better job on the boards.
Mahorn knocked Cartwright out, but Gilliam never went to the ball.
Michael hung in the air for 1 instant longer, didn't he?
Now you saw him get knocked on that shot also, Pete. Uh-oh, he's hurting a little bit there. He really got popped.
Timeout with 9:08 remaining in the third. Bulls by 8. And here are tonight's Nissan leaders. 2 of the top 5 scorers in this year's playoffs. Right here tonight, Michael Jordan only a point behind Karl Malone, and Charles Barkley ranked 5th.
Now just watch at the top of the jump here. Now as he comes down, you can see Michael grimace right there. The leg gave way on him. He got hit at the top of his jump. Now just watch. See, this is bothering him here, see? You can see it. He came down, and it looked like he jammed the leg.
But he will stay in there. He has 26 points on the night. It's 57-49, Chicago, an 8-point lead.
Now, that was a good timeout by Jimmy Line. And they've got to get these guys cooking here. And this young man right here must get some more catches.
Hawkins putting the shot up. We saw Cartwright come over to help out. Offensive board, Barkley. Put back Barkley. He got 2 offensive rebounds that time. Finally paid off in 2 points for him.
Now, let me just tell you something. Now, you see what just happened? Charles Barkley scored, is standing down there yelling at Eddie Rush, wants to score. His man just laid the ball up at the other end. See, Pippen is doing a great job on that. Anytime Barkley complains, he takes off and they get him the basketball.
And the lead is back up to 8 for Chicago. Armand Gilliam had a big first half, couldn't get that one to fall. Boy, this Chicago team is playing some defense here tonight. Seem to be 2 men on every man that has the ball.
Well, they're very focused in about the fact they play hard every night. They work extremely hard defensively. The offense will take care of it by itself. Pippen thought he got popped by Barkley. That was a nice night. You got a gift there.
Hawkins runs into Paxson. They're going to have an offensive foul call against Hersey Hawkins.
Everyone is hot now because it was Eddie Rush again. You see? Now you're going to see here right now. Barkley's going to miss it, and then he's going to score. Now just watch what happens. He wants a foul because of Cartwright. He's complaining. That's his man with the basketball coming right up the middle of the floor on against the 2 guards. And you know when you're 6'9", you're going right in and taking them to the hole.
A 10-point Chicago lead now as the Bulls begin to pull away here in quarter number 3.
Chicago's had nice spacing all night long in this continuity offense.
And Scottie Pippen will take the shot with 3 seconds to go on the shot clock. Rebound, out of bounds. The ball belongs still to Chicago. No, it goes to Philadelphia. 24 seconds on the clock.
When you need a win really bad in the playoffs, now right now you're down 2 games to nothing. You cannot allow the referee to distract you because you have contributed to most of these problems yourself. And you've just got to play the basketball game and play as hard as you can. Now you're down 10.
Well, look at Jordan right on Hawkins. That time a foul will be called on Michael, his second.
I'd say that was a sensational spin move. He fooled Michael. Michael thought he was going to go up for the jump shot. And instead, when he came out of that spin, he just stepped right underneath him.
At the line, Hersey Hawkins. He looked like he was going to have himself a pretty good night in that first quarter. He had 2 quick buckets, had 5 points, one on the 3-pointer. Hasn't scored since.
Well, as we know, Pete, it's tough to do if you do not get the catches. And that's up to the offensive sets to run. And now, whether it's stagger picks, double picks, whatever, big man, little man screens, in order to get you the catch. That's all good scorers ask out of an offense against a good defensive team. How many catches do I make? Now, if they double team me, well, then there's nothing I can do about that.
7 points now for Hersey Hawkins. An 8-point Chicago lead. Little over 7 minutes to go. Quarter number 3.
Philly's got to show some defense. Just appreciate the Chicago offense. They do a nice job. There's constant motion away from the ball.
Cartwright couldn't get it to go. Rebound comes off the floor. We're going to get a loose ball foul call. And it's going against Chicago. Horace Grant called for it, his second. 3rd team foul. And now Philadelphia can cut that lead down to 6.
There going down here. Cartwright's fronting Gilliam.
Ricky Green takes it inside. Smooth by the 36-year-old veteran, Ricky Green. He has 9 points tonight. Down to a 6-point Chicago lead now. Pippen front court finds Michael. Gilliam comes over. Michael misses the shot. Another offensive board by Pippen. Really scrambling now. Scottie Pippen on a great save from Michael Jordan.
That was a tough break, a real tough break.
Ron Anderson trying to get that shooting touch from outside. He can't get that shot to drop for him tonight. And once again, Chicago can open up a 10-point lead. Scottie Pippen will take it. No, rebound Gilliam.
Got numbers here now.
Green trying to get it underneath to Barkley. Knocked out by Chicago. Ball still belongs
now, right
to
now
Philadelphia.
you have Philadelphia with a small front line. Now, here we go. Now, just watch this. Now, this is a very good move. Now, Jordan puts it up here. Here comes, now there it is right there. See, the ball was dribbled. Everybody wanted to travel in that situation. The ball was out of his hand, so he could stagger back as many steps as possible as long as he's dribbling.
Barkley again drawing the trap along the baseline. And this time we will get a foul call.
See, if Philly will just regain their concentration, stay within their game plan, they will rally. The building is ready to explode. They want to cheer. They want to bring them back. But you must play both ends of the floor and not lose the concentration.
What you were talking about earlier, too, about the point guards unable to get the ball into the scores. Only 1 assist tonight for Ricky Green. That's been a problem for the Sixers in the first 2 games.
See, we have 3 good referees on this game, and they will make the call for you. Now, the reason why everyone is on Eddie Rush all night is because of that Rick Mahorn elbow. So anytime Eddie Rush makes a close call in this game, every player on Philadelphia and the fans are going bananas, but incorrectly.
Here's Hersey Hawkins back at the line. He now has 8, 63, 56. 5:34 the time left in this third quarter. Chicago trying to win their 3rd straight in this series, their 6th straight overall in the playoffs, and their 10th straight if you count the last 4 regular season games.
They're the only team in the Eastern Conference that ended the season in the last 10 games with a winning record. They were 7-3.
And their defense has been so good during the playoffs. Only 1 team has scored 100 points against them in a game. That was Philadelphia in Game 2, and they lost that one by 12. Down low to Pippen, right back to Grant. He tried to shovel it over to Bill Cartwright. Trying for the steal was Hawkins.
Hersey Hawkins is really quick. He plays the passing lanes as well as any guard in this league, a big guard, because he's the off guard. Really anticipates passes.
Got called that time for a 2nd foul. Michael draws the double team. Bill Cartwright for 2. He has 9 and lead back up to 8 now. 65-57 Chicago.
See, Chicago has nice spacing, so when you double team them, they have the people in the right spots.
Gilliam got fouled by Scottie Pippen. Pippen trying to block the shot. He's in some trouble now. That's his 4th personal. So that gets a reaction from the crowd. Personal foul number 4 on Pippen. In the penalty situation now, Gilliam will be at the line.
Well, it's interesting. You know, Phil Jackson has not made a move. He's going down to the bench right now. I mean, they need a substitution here. They're going to go small because they're going to bring in Hodges. So they'll have Paxson and Hodges at the guard positions. And they will move Michael Jordan to small forward.
So that change made as Pippen sits down with 4 personals. He has 18 points tonight. This will be the 20th free throw attempt tonight for Philadelphia. They're 15 of 19 from the line. Chicago's 9 of 12 from the line. And Gilliam now with 18 points. There's 4 below his career playoff high. 65-59. 6-point Chicago lead. 4:45 to go in the 3rd.
Now Anderson is playing Michael Jordan.
Nice pass Pass Hodges to Jordan. He'll put it up over Hersey Hawkins. It hangs and falls. 28 for Michael Jordan.
That was beautiful. That's what they call a guard around play. And that was really nice. Michael made a tough shot. That was a tough angle.
Barkley operating along that baseline again. Power move by Charles Barkley. He has 16. 67-61. Barkley now 6 of 10 from the field. Barkley already as many field goal attempts in this third quarter as he had the entire first half.
Plenty of time. 8 seconds here.
Jordan is taking over for Chicago. He has 30. 6 assists to go along with those 30 points for Michael. 69-61 Chicago. Hawkins will try one from 3-point line and drill it. His second tray of the night. He has 12 points. That cuts it to a 5-point lead now for the Bulls with 3.5 minutes to go in the third.
Now, during the year, he made 108, and he shot 40%, so you know he can knock them down.
Barkley got the hand in, trying for the steal. A whistle in the backcourt.
The fans are starved, Pete. They want to erupt. They want to come out. If the Sixers will just anticipate a little bit here. That was good. A good move by Barkley, pausing it. And before Gilliam got the pass, many times you'd rather forget about the foul in the backcourt. Let us run this fast break.
Armand Gilliam will be at the line, shooting a couple. Gilliam with 18 tonight. And spent a good part of the night at the free throw line where he's perfect now, 7 for 7.
He's an excellent foul shooter, Pete. He's in the low 80s, but he's consistent. He has a very nice shot. Nice follow through, nice roll of the ball.
We've got a timeout. We've got 3:20 to go in the third. It is 69-65 Chicago. There's your score, 69-65, Bulls by 4. And Phil Jackson and Horace Grant, a few words during the timeout. QB?
Yeah, well, Phil is really upset because at the other end of the floor, you must come and meet the passes. And then what you try not to do, you see this is the pass here. Now, what he's saying is when you're a post guy and that ball is coming into you, you go and meet the pass. That's the first thing you teach pivot people. Do not run away from the pass. Come and meet the pass. Shorten the passing lane, and that stops the player from coming over your back like Barkley did. Then you complicate situations because then they foul. All right, so now you give them 2 points, and it all came off of a simple, basic fundamental.
And Horace Grant's going to get some time on the bench to think about it. Cliff Livingston has checked in for the first time tonight. Gilliam makes the second half of his 2 free throws. He has 20 points on the night, 8 out of 8 from the line. Back to a 3-point Chicago lead. 76ers chipping away at that Bulls lead here in the third. Michael Jordan, though, is beginning to warm up here in the third. He has 32 points.
That was 1 against 5.
That was 1 against 6. Could have been 1 against 7. Wouldn't have mattered.
They opened up the floor, and they just allowed him to go one-on-one from the top. See, against Ron Anderson, he can do that all day long.
Hersey Hawkins with Hodges on him now. Paxson comes over to help out. That left Turner free. Turner finds an open Ron Anderson along the baseline. It wouldn't go for him. Ron Anderson can't get that stroke going. He's only 2 of 7 from the field tonight.
He's wide open also, Pete. That was a nice pass by Jay. Here's the same thing, see? And all they do is they spot up.
And get it out to Craig Hodges for that familiar 3-pointer of his. He has 5 on the night. The lead back up to 8.
One of the best of all time in this league. High percentage 3-point shooter, Craig Hodges.
One of the many weapons on this Chicago team. Armand Gilliam hits the turnaround, Jay. He has 22. It's still Chicago by 6.
Now, by going to Michael again, they opened up the floor. They have 2 guys on either side, high and low. They let him go one-on-one. When you double team, he finds the man.
Shot and the rebound comes to Chicago again, who have been in this third quarter in particular, getting a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of second-chance shots.
High pick and roll.
Paxson will take it from outside. Wouldn't go. Rebound pulled away this time by Gilliam. Gets it off to Andre Turner. A minute 45 to go in the third. And Andre Turner going into that crowd.
See, the point guards tonight, Pete, for Philadelphia have not been able to explode even in transition and get down in there and make something happen, whether they make a creative pass or get fouled.
But here's the coach right now, Jimmy Lanham. He understands. He can win this game. I mean, they're extremely close. All they have to do is just concentrate, play a little defense. Things will be all right.
Well, we go back to that stat about assists from your point guards. They're the guys that are supposed to pile them up and make things happen. Well, he's only got 4 assists tonight from the 2 point guards that have played.
Right. And talking to Jimmy today, he said, we've got to get to the foul line, and they are doing that in this quarter. And they did a fairly decent job in the first half. They got there 12 times.
Andre Turner gets his first 2 of the night and gets it back to a 4-point game. That was the score at halftime, a 4-point lead, 51-47 Chicago at the half. So Philadelphia's gotten it back to where it was at halftime.
Turner does a nice job.
Not with that man operating like he can.
He's so tough to double team from the top of the circle, because anytime he's in the middle of the floor and he puts it down, guys don't really want to leave their men because their men are going to be wide open.
Michael has 34 points tonight, 12 in this quarter. Closing in on the 1-minute mark in quarter number 3.
You got to take him. You got to take him. There you go.
Finally got the foul call against Craig Hodges. That's 2 on Craig.
Yeah, Craig was up in there working hard, but you know, people know in this league that anytime Craig Hodges comes in, if he's picking up one of your better scorers, they either post him if the guy has size, or if it is someone who has good talent with the dribble, they take him off the dribble looking for the foul.
These will be the 13th and 14th free throw attempts of this quarter for Philadelphia. Hawkins with 12 points on the night. From the free throw line. This program authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the National Basketball Association solely for the entertainment of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, or accounts of this game without the express written consent of the National Basketball Association is prohibited.
Now this young man's had some season. He's 7th in the league in three-point shooting. He was 8th in the league in steals, 14th in the league in scoring, and 16th in free throw percentage. Not bad.
Pretty good year for a pretty good player. 5-point lead, under a minute to go. That time the shot wouldn't go. Livingston keeping it alive for Chicago, but finally pulled away by Gilliam. Off it comes to Hersey Hawkins along the baseline. And there's Craig Hodges tying him up.
This is what we got back to talking about in the first quarter. Anytime that Chicago shoots and misses, Philly gets it, they're looking always up the court to Hawkins. Allow him to get out in the open floor. If he wants the 3, fine, let him shoot it. But he's so talented off the dribble. He's really developed that part of the game that he did not have when he came out of Bradley.
And he earns another trip to the free throw line. Craig Hodges picking up his 3rd personal.
By the way, when he did come out of Bradley, he scored over 3,000 points in his career there, in the 5th leading scorer in the history of the NCAA.
Look at that number for Philadelphia. They wanted to get to the line. They've done it this quarter.
See, Phil Jackson has been working the referees the entire night. When they threw the ball up, he took his first move.
76-73, Chicago by 3. Philadelphia continuing to whittle away at that Bulls lead. But Michael tried to get a blind pass over to Cartwright. Anderson got a hand on it.
Now, let me tell you what happened there. Jordan saw him, took 2 dribbles. Cartwright never moved. Billy should have moved right to the front of the rim. He had a dunk, because that's where he threw that pass. Now this is what you never want to be as a defensive player, guarding him there.
Rebound came out deep to Andre Turner, but he loses his footing as he got down to the free throw line. Ball still belongs to the Sixers. Boy. Break there for Philadelphia.
Big break.
They almost turned the ball over again, and that's been a problem with them tonight. Philadelphia has turned the ball over tonight 13 times. Chicago only 5 times.
Hold for the last shot here now.
Andre Turner. His first field goal of the night. It's a 1-point game. Armstrong from midcourt, no. And Philadelphia has pulled back to within 1. They haven't been able to grab the lead. but it's only a 1-point Chicago lead. 76-75 with 1 quarter to go here at the Spectrum. And Hubie Brown back with you from the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Maybe the biggest quarter of the year about to begin for Philadelphia.
Now just watch this fake. Look how Michael Jordan went for the fake. He came by and he had to shoot up over the top of Cartwright. Now this small unit for Philadelphia has really done a good job. You know, now they have Bowl in there, but they have Gilliam and Ron Anderson, Hersey Hawkins, and Turner. Now the scoring, naturally, they really want it from Hawkins, Anderson, Gilliam. But Bowl has got to give them some good defense with some shot blocking, which has been missing in the first 3 games. They're only averaging 1 shot block a game for Bowl, and that's like an all-time low.
And the first whistle of quarter number 4, a foul on Andre Turner. Ball still belongs to Chicago. Bulls leading at 76-75. Grant back in there. Livingston has sat down. B.J. Armstrong.
They need help down inside there, right there. Nice.
Oh, he's amazing. He is absolutely amazing. 36 points for Michael Jordan.
Not only did he beat his man, he beat the second guy, and then he shot it over Bowl.
16 for 28 from the field tonight for Michael Jordan. 36 points.
Oh, that was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
Through the foul from Will Perdue.
See, this is interesting. When they throw the ball into the pivot, the Newt Bowles man is leaving him, all right, who is Will Perdue, and double teaming. All right, now when that happens, they have Michael Jordan. Now just watch this as this pass goes in. The pass was already made. I'm very sorry. When that pass was made, they diagonaled it over to Michael Jordan's man. Michael was playing 2 people on the other side of the floor. Strong move by Hersey Hawkins.
Hersey Hawkins in this series, 27 out of 28, now 28 out of 29 from the free throw line.
Well, you see, this is what we thought we'd see from the beginning of the game, Pete, that Barkley and Hawkins would be totally involved in the offense.
And Hawkins, who had only 5 points in the first half, now scored 12 in the second half. 17 of the night for Hersey Hawkins, back to a 1-point Chicago lead.
He has really had a sensational season. Just keeps getting better and better.
Scottie Pippen losing the ball. Sixers can get the lead here. Pippen causing problems for Hawkins, as is Jordan. And we finally get a whistle. Ball still belongs to the Sixers.
Now, you're Hersey. You're dribbling. You are being chased by Michael Jordan and Pippen. They are 3rd and 5th in this league in steals for the year. But he was lucky, though. He came out there. They both got a piece of it.
Oh, they got that pass into Manute. Yeah. Manute held it out there like an egg.
You only have 10 seconds out, so you must be careful. It's a good matchup. It's been tough all night.
Hawkins trying to out-quick Michael. Couldn't do it that time, but Michael was the last man to touch it. They're going to get it back. Only 4 seconds on the clock to shoot it.
Well, remember, Michael was Defensive Player of the Year there in '88, and he's been first-team All-Defense for 3 straight years.
Looking for something quick here into Gilliam. He's going to have to shoot it. Chicago's great defense again. Gets it back for him, a chance to expand their lead. Jordan trying to kick it back out. There's Hawkins with a steal.
There's the shot.
From 3.
That's us. They allow him to do that on the fast break, and that's fine. He's such a sensational shooter from out there.
He's hit 2 of those tonight, but that one wouldn't fall for him. Now Scottie Pippen just inside the 3-point line. He has 20.
See, off that little pick and roll, they can get those shots all night, Pete, mainly because the post guy for Philadelphia plays below the pick. You've got to get up and show.
Chicago now leading it by 3 again. Gilliam. Nice move. Shot over Grant. No. Little Andre Turner comes away with it.
Nice. So that was very, very heady.
Turner working against Armstrong.
Well, they just ran Hersey Hawkins off a pick on the left. Michael Jordan switched, brought him back on the right. He's got to take Grant off the dribble.
Losing the ball. Turner gets it back. He's going to have to put it up to beat the shot clock. And a 25 2:54 second clock violation is going to give the ball back to Chicago. Boy, the Chicago Bulls defensively tonight have been after him all night long.
See, there's frustration right there on the face of Jimmy Lynam. Why? You get it to one. Everything looks good. The last 2 times down the floor, you end up with nothing. And at this end, they are going to more isolations for Michael or into pick and roll stuff, which you have not been defending really well.
Chicago, a team that turns the ball over very few times in every game. And that's happening again tonight. Only 7 turnovers, double that to Philadelphia. We saw Charles Barkley checking back in. Now Hodges going to give Michael Jordan a breather.
During the course of the season, Chicago was 3rd in the league for fewest turnovers, only 14 a game. And when you think of the pace that they play at.
In the playoffs, it's only been 11 a game. Hodges for 3. No, Purdue the rebound.
Oh, great
took the ball away. Purdue wanted a foul call, didn't get it. Turner off to Hersey Hawkins. Easy layup.
3-on-2.
19 points for Hawkins, back to a 1-point game.
Well, Hawkins is having some defensive game. I mean, off the ball. Nobody's going to stop Michael Jordan. There's that pick and roll.
The ball in to Will Purdue. Purdue couldn't get the shot to drop, but he will take a trip to the free throw line.
Yeah, I can't say this enough. Every time they run a pick and roll, they score. Or they get a wide open shot. Mainly because the Philadelphia guy is going underneath it and getting picked. It's an excellent steal. Here you have a 3-on-2 situation. Good choice. Hersey going strong. You're not going to try to foul him.
First time Chicago's been to the line in a while. The last 20 free throw attempts before this one were put up by the 76ers.
This young man, I'm really happy for him. He's worked so hard. He was a first-round draft pick, 11th pick in the draft. Everyone gave him such a tough time. He's really developed into a solid backup center here.
It's a 2-point game. Philadelphia has the ball. A chance to tie it up here or take the lead with a 3-pointer.
And they're looking for Hersey coming off the pick.
They found him. Can he hit the jumper? Hersey Hawkins with 21 points. We are tied at 81. The Sixers, who had fallen 10 points down, have finally battled all the way back. Grant in the paint over Manute Bol. Gives the lead back to Chicago. Horace Grant has 8.
Well, he had a piece of that. But unfortunately for Manute, he knocked it right into the basket. Hawkins is working so hard coming off the screens on the right. Now he's coming off a double.
Set by Barkley and Bol. Got the ball, but draws the double team. Ball to Andre Turner. All kinds of time. Can he hit the 3-pointer? No. Rebound pulled away by Horace Grant. Chicago. 7:25 remaining in the game. Stolen by Turner.
Great pass.
Hawkins will go to the line one more time.
What a beautiful pass by Turner. Great defensive anticipation at the one end of the floor and a beautiful delivery at the other.
That's number 3 on Will Purdue. And it puts Hersey Hawkins back at the free throw line. Watch this.
Now just watch the coverage here. Now this is developing into a 3-on-2 and they try to jam him and he thread the needle right there. That was beautiful. See, since they've had Turner, Anderson, and Hawkins together defensively, they've been getting better coverage on the Bulls.
Hersey Hawkins continues his deadly free throw shooting. He's 25 out of 26 in this series. 10 of 11 tonight.
It's nice to see him rewarded this year when he got to play in the All-Star game when Isaiah was on the injured list for the game.
That ties the score again at 83. Closing in on the 7-minute mark. 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Hey, there it is.
The pick set by Purdue.
They're wearing it out, Pete. All right, and that's what smart teams do. They're going to force you to come up and either trap that or they're going to force you to send the guy down to the baseline. Every time he comes off, wide open.
This series very much beginning to resemble the series between these two clubs a year ago. Michael was kind of quiet the first 2 games, and all of a sudden popped for 40-plus points 3 straight games. Anderson cannot find that outside jumper. That is really hurting Philadelphia. He's only 2 of 8 now.
He never got that one set in his hand.
Mercy.
Oh, my.
He has found his.
Wow. They are standing here and cheering.
Sixers have the lead for the first time since a 43-41 first half lead.
Michael was right in his face with that hand.
Now comes into Purdue, takes it in over Manute Bol. No, rebound, pulled away, Charles Barkley. Stolen by Pippen.
That's sad.
Pippen for 3. Out deep to Armstrong. Now they'll run some clock here.
When Pippen and Jordan are around you, you just cannot get cute with the basketball.
Purdue comes out again to Scottie Pippen.
Great block by Manute.
Michael. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. And Barkley's going to be called for personal foul number 4.
Personal fouls on Charles Barkley. His third, team third.
And Philadelphia is going to call a timeout here with 5:23 remaining. Philadelphia has the lead, but only by 1. This Eastern Conference semifinal series from the Spectrum. It is 86-85. Don't forget Game 2 of our TNT playoff doubleheader tonight. Game 3 in that Western Conference series between the Lakers and Golden State. Bob Neal and Doug Collins will have that one for you right after this one. Sunday night coverage on TNT. Portland and Utah. Game 4 in their series. Bob Neal, Doug Collins have that one for you. Then Monday night, he'll be and I'll be in Detroit for Game 4 in the Eastern Conference semifinal set between the Celtics and the Detroit Pistons. That one right now tied at 1 game apiece. Philadelphia trying to win its first in this series.
Hey, Barkley is still complaining over their last foul. I mean, we were just away for about 2 minutes. The fans are going absolutely berserk. Philadelphia has taken the lead in shooting percentage 51-49 and in rebounding 28-25.
Chicago trying to get the lead back here. Scottie Pippen hits the jumper over Gilliam. Pippen now at 22. Chicago has a 1-point lead, closing into the 5-minute mark.
Big thing from now to the end of the game comes up to matchups and who takes advantage in the best in your half-court set.
They get it inside the Barkley, and Charles will earn a trip to the free throw line.
We talked earlier about getting to the foul line. That's his 5th foul. 5th foul. That's a big one. That's why now you must continue to go right at him and try to get him out of there. And it puts a lot of pressure on Phil Jackson. Do you allow Pippen to stay on Barkley, or do you make a switch here? Now,
right now, looks like Pippen will stay in.
Now this is the 29th free throw for Philadelphia. They are 23 for 29 at this time.
And still in this 4th quarter, the only Sixer to score has been Hersey Hawkins. That is still the case. Barkley missed them both. 87-86.
Barkley has missed 4 in this game tonight.
All in the second half. And it comes to Michael. Is he going to start taking over again? He might be about to. He has 40.
Well, when you talk to the coaches in Chicago, they'll tell you their best post-up player is Michael Jordan. And you see that smart. Take Hersey in there. The guy has been working so hard all night. You know he's exhausted. Plus, he has to draw Michael Jordan.
He gets the ball again. There's Michael right on him.
Hersey's been spectacular.
He has. He tries again. Has the ball batted away this time. It still belongs to Philadelphia, but only 3 seconds left in the shot clock. 4:16 left in the game. 89-86
Yeah, Jimmy wants
Chicago.
a 20-second here. They're going to call it 20-second. With only 3 seconds on the shot clock, you really want to come out of here with a good shot opportunity because you've fallen behind by 3.
So what does he go to here to try to get that quick shot?
Well, every team has some guys will pick a big man on a little man so that they cannot switch. But a lot of good defensive teams will say right now, no matter whatever the screen situation is, switch and keep the man in front of you. That means do not allow him to go to the front of the rim for any kind of a lob pass, especially if you are in a mismatch of size. Switch and keep them out. And then put good pressure on the guy trying to make the pass.
Here's the unit coming out for Philadelphia now. Gilliam, Anderson, Barkley. Boy, you talk about going small. They're going small now with this group, as Manute Bol has taken a seat.
Jimmy likes this group, though. He feels that they played well in the 2 games in Chicago. Even though it's a small group, you still have, Barkley to be your horse at the center position.
Only 3 seconds left to shoot it. They get it into Barkley. Barkley got fouled by Cartwright. He was able to get that shot away, or by Grant, rather.
I can't believe that Jackson is arguing over this call. I mean, I just can't believe it. Now, just watch. Now, watch the pump fake here. There it is. And he took the contact.
And still got the shot off.
Yeah, and still got it off and almost made it.
And now he's got to make some free throws. As we told you before, he's missed 4 in this half and 5 tonight. 4 out of 9 from the line tonight for Charles Barkley. That one does fall for him. 17 points. 89-87. Now Manute Bol coming back in.
This is almost like an offense-defensive type of a situation.
Manute coming in to play D. Anderson coming in to try to find that outside shooting stroke, which has been missing. Barkley makes them both. He has 18. Back to a 1-point Chicago lead.
Now, you can get a shot anytime by just putting Michael Jordan at the top of the circle. No doubt about it. They haven't stopped him yet. Or hit or post him down inside.
6 seconds left in the shot clock. Scottie Pippen will take it over Charles Barkley. No, kept alive by Percy Hawkins. Pulled away by Manute Bol. Philadelphia can grab the lead here.
Should take him early. Give it right back to him and let him take him because he's in foul trouble. He's got 5. He can't afford another foul.
Hawkins almost lost it. Gilliam. Philadelphia moves on top on Armand Gilliam's 24th point. 90-89. 3:25 to go.
That's nice. Turner did not panic with that pass, and then that was a tough shot for Gilliam.
Turner now has 7 assists. He's had 6 of them in the second half. Almost stolen by Armand Gilliam. But there's Michael over Barkley. Comes up short. Oh, what a shot by Grant that time.
What a beautiful recovery by Horace Grant.
And that gives the lead back to Chicago under 3 minutes. Andre Turner's done the majority of the play in the point guard spot for the Sixers in the second half.
Now they moved Grant on Barkley, trapping with Pippen.
Remember, Pippen playing with 5 personals. Turner over Andre Turner has had a good second half.
Now, Pete.
92-91 Philadelphia.
He got hit on that one pretty good.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And that knocked him off, and he still had the presence to bank it in.
He's only 5'11", 160. 92-91 Philadelphia. You see the time left in the game. Sixers trying desperately to win one in this series. Oh, if that would have gone, it would have hurt.
Yeah, loose ball. Good call. And that's the penalty.
We've got a timeout with 2:14 remaining. Philadelphia has a 1-point lead as they try to win their first in this best-of-7 series. And here is tonight's Dutch boy in the paint. Philadelphia concerned about their play in there in games 1 and 2. They've equaled Chicago in rebounding, but still 8 more Chicago points scored inside tonight.
Yeah, but at least they're working at it, and they've kept their concentration for the last quarter and a half, and they've played well. Now, just appreciate Michael Jordan's elevation here, the distance he covers. Now, I know he missed the shot, and here's the foul up over the top. All right, Cartwright coming down on top of Barkley.
Give you the foul situation here. We told you Scottie Pippen has 5, Horace Grant has 4, Cartwright 3, Paxson 3, and Jordan 3.
Now, as you look at this, the next foul, the Bulls are in the penalty. The 76ers have committed 3, so they have 1 to give
before the penalty. Now, as far as timeouts, Chicago has 3 timeouts and a 20. Philadelphia only has 3 timeouts, no 20.
And a big number advantage at the free throw line for Philadelphia tonight. These will be free throw attempts number 37 and 38 for the Sixers. Charles Barkley has made his last 3 after missing 4 in a row.
Well, you see, in this series, Pete, they're shooting 33 a game. So they know they can get them if they can get the ball down into their key people.
Now you see Chicago only 14 trips to the line tonight. Barkley only makes 1 of 2. He has now missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 free throw attempts tonight. 93-91.
Main thing is now Charles got to guard Pippen and hang with him.
Michael over Manute. So you have Michael 2 and a chance for 3. Manute Bol commits his 3rd.
See, the thing about Chicago that's great is they attack Bol. See, watch Michael take it right up into him. See, that forces Manute to move his feet, which he does not do well. He's relying on his long arms to get the shot. But Pippen and Jordan take it right into his chest and attack the basket.
Jordan with 42 points tonight. We're tied at 93. He hasn't missed a free throw in 4 tries. Now he has in 5 tries. And Philadelphia can grab back the lead here. Under 2 minutes to go.
Now remember, both teams are in the penalty. Now Pippen has 5. Here comes Cartwright on that double team. See, they keep leaving Ball. They know that Jordan can cover 2 guys.
Barkley a 3-point shot with 4 seconds on the shot clock wouldn't go. And Michael Jordan, the rebound for Chicago, has a chance to give the Bulls the lead back here. Tied at 93, a minute and a half remaining.
Now remember, both teams have 3 timeouts remaining.
They take it into Manute again.
Boy.
I'll tell you what.
That's
some kind of shot there by Michael Jordan.
And a technical. And they're throwing him out. At least that's the way it looks here. Now just watch this move. Now here comes Bol over. Now appreciate this. Look how long he held that ball. Now not only does he get the 2, he gets the foul. They called the technical and they just threw Bol out of the game.
So Manute Bol will have to leave. And he will walk down that runway saying, my bad, my bad. He has been ejected.
Now, this is the penalty that Jordan is shooting.
This is a big call here. It was a 93-93 game when all this happened. We'll see how many points Jordan winds up getting out of it. It's 95-93 now, 96-93.
All right, now we have the regular play. See, he got thrown out because of what he said to one of the 2 guys on the baseline after that call was made. Now, that was a sensational play by Jordan. Now, this is what we mean by concentration, right?
They can't let it slip away with time running down like it is in this game.
Not when you could steal this one. This is one that you could definitely get.
And if Jordan makes this, it's going to wind up being a 4-point play for Michael and Chicago. But he misses it, and there's a rebound by Andre Turner. 96-93. Timeout's going to be called here by Philadelphia. Sixers trailing by 3. And they call a timeout with a minute 22 to go.
I'd like you to take a nice look at this baseline drive, and you're going to see Jordan get hit twice on this play. Right? Once he elevates, now watch, he brings it back. He's hit by 2 guys. Now, I have no idea why Bol would attack anybody on that, because, you know, they almost hit him with a hatchet, all right? Let's face it, he really got drilled, not by 1 guy, but by 2. Now, in the ensuing part, then that's when the technical happened, which cost them 1 point. Now, here's our reset. Now, you can see the Bulls are in good shape with 3 and a 20. Sixers only have 2. Now, with Hawkins and Anderson and Turner, you have 3 good 3-point shooters. Now's not the time, but when we get near the end of the game, you know that Philly can make 3s.
96-93 Chicago. Hersey Hawkins going to take the jumper. Wouldn't go for him. Barkley trying for the rebound. Battling Grant for it. Ball still rolling loose along the floor. And we'll have a jump ball. We have seen some bad decisions made by some Sixer players in this one. It was a bad decision for Manute Bol to argue that call and cost him a technical. Charles Barkley's 3-point effort a couple of trips ago down the court, not a very good decision. Remember in the first half, a couple of Gilliam shots in the paint. He took the short jumper instead of going for the dunk.
All right, now the one thing he must be careful of, Horace Grant, if they win this, that they do not send the guy long and get a layup.
It is controlled by Philadelphia. Under a minute to go. 96-93 Chicago.
He's got to move quicker. He's got to go to the basket before the double team gets there.
Remember, Pippen's got 5 fouls. Out it comes to Turner.
Yeah,
Turner.
Hey, not bad for a kid who has spent 4 years trying to make it in this league and played with 5 different teams in the CBA.
We've seen a couple of people like that in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mario Elliott and Golden State and another one.
You can't be happy enough for him because the young man has really played big here tonight.
96-95, Chicago by 1. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. 3 on the shot clock. 1 on the shot clock. No. Rebound. Pulled away Hawkins. Ball loose. Out of bounds. Off who? It belongs still to Chicago.
Jimmy Lyman is going nuts on the sideline. You know why? Because there should have been a loose ball foul called. All right. And then as the ball came off, they get a bad ricochet out of bounds. Now, the Bulls are taking a 20-second here right now. Smart move. Now, just appreciate this. As this shot comes up, watch over the back. Okay, you're going to see it. He gets hit right there, and they push him out of the way. So there could have been, now you're going to see it there. Now, they wanted the ball. I'm sure they wanted the ball, but they also could have had a possible loose ball foul. But then again, we are inside of 20 seconds, Pete, and this is the NBA. Because everyone's looking at this, and there's no blood on the floor right now, so definitely no one got fouled.
There's a timeout situation with 15.7 seconds remaining. Chicago trying to take a 3-0 lead in this best-of-7 series. Game 4 will be played here in Philadelphia on Sunday.
Now, big key here is this. If Chicago shoots and misses, Philadelphia might not call timeout. A lot of guys like to just, if you get the miss and it can go long, take it long. Now, Jimmy just countered this play by calling a timeout. So the only problem with this is this takes Philadelphia to only 1 timeout remaining.
Just
once
over
they get the ball back.
Seconds left. It is 96-95 Chicago.
Now Jimmy Lanham just called a timeout. He only has 1 left. Now, in a situation like this, we're saying there's David Stern and his lovely wife. He's making a game of night, right? No matter where we are, he's there.
He's there.
All right, now, as soon as they saw the formation, Jimmy wanted to call a timeout to see how they were going to defend it. Now, remember that the Chicago Bulls, you only have 15 seconds here. The Chicago Bulls can throw the ball in bounds here, and you have got to either try for the steal quickly or you've got to foul somebody. I mean, you cannot allow them to just run the clock out. Now, so you're Philly, you have got to make something happen. Now, the tough pressure should be on Pippen. You want to try for the steal.
And a quick foul by Hersey Hawkins of Michael Jordan.
Personal foul, Hersey Hawkins is
0.8 of a second went by in that exchange. Jordan will be at the line with 14.9 seconds remaining. Jordan tonight, 45 points. He's 5 for 7 from the free throw line. He missed the first one.
I'll tell you, this is absolutely amazing. We are talking about a guy who shoots 85% from the line. Now you're Philadelphia, you must block out as soon as you get the rebound. If he misses timeout, if he makes timeout, because it will only be a 2-point game if he scores.
He has missed 3 of his last 4. He makes that one. It's 46-point night for Michael Jordan, but it's only a 2-point Chicago lead now with 14.9 seconds remaining. Phil Jackson looking just as much in disbelief as you are, Hubie, over Michael missing 1, 2, 3 free throw efforts in this final quarter.
Yeah, but at the other end of the floor, Barkley has missed 3 himself this quarter. He's 3 for 6, and he has only had 1 field goal opportunity. Now, let's look at the Philadelphia situation. They have no timeouts left. Now, you're Chicago. You are a very tough defensive team. You put a guy on the ball, maybe, But what you might do, because Philadelphia has not handled it, is you might trap the first pass. Now, because why? You haven't done it in a long time. A lot of good defensive coaches like to make the surprise. Now, if it's Philadelphia getting the ball inbound, I think we can safely say that Barkley's going to have the basketball in this situation. Now, the pressure is on the guy out of bounds. He has no timeouts. He has no 20 seconds. So he must make a good pass inbounds. And if they do make it, they can still get it to Barkley if the initial pass was not to Barkley.
They have not done a good job getting the ball to Charles tonight. He's only tried 11 field goals all night.
Plus, you're the defensive coach now, Phil Jackson. You don't let Charles Barkley beat you. You trap Barkley, and you make Barkley give up the pass, or you force him to try to beat your trap. Okay, now you're making him do two things here. What you do not do, what you do not allow them to do, and that is run a set play. That's the one thing that cannot happen here.
Well, we'll see what transpires in these final 15 seconds. Don't forget Game 2 coming up tonight from Oakland. Golden State hosting the Lakers. Best of 7 series tied up at 1 there. Bob Neal standing by to bring you that one along with Doug Collins.
Now remember, the other side of all this, now this is daring. You foul the guy who takes it inbounds, let him shoot the 2 foul shots, tie the game. And then you still have the last shot. There you go. So you never discount that. A lot of guys gamble under pressure.
Well, now a timeout's going to be called here by Chicago. So the clock remains stopped. 14.9 seconds remaining. Bulls lead it by 2.
Now this is a defensive coach in his huddle telling his team, we have 2 timeouts remaining. Now, they are going to probably put pressure all over Philadelphia. He called this timeout because he saw their set that they were going to run. Now, remember what we said. You can foul in this situation, force them to take 2. Now, that's taking a wild gamble, and that would give you the last shot of the game. You have the lead by 2 right now, so let's rely on your defense. So the second factor is trap their best guy when he catches the ball. Do not allow their best shooter to beat you. Now, what that does, though, that might open up someone and put the pressure on somebody to hit a jump shot.
And while you were making that point, Scottie Pippen doing a little politicking with Hugh Holland, saying just how close he could get.
Now remember, Philly, no timeouts remaining.
Anderson, in it comes to Barkley. Barkley taking it inside, gives to Hersey Hawkins for 3!
Chicago, look at this Spectrum crowd. Hersey Hawkins' 4th three-pointer of the night. The Sixers are up by 1.
All right, now, the thing is that you cannot go crazy in your own huddle right now. Chicago has 1 timeout remaining. Now, you're going to see they get the pass to Barkley. They do not trap him. And what happens, Jordan was trying to help out, and they left Hersey Hawkins out on the side. You see, Pippen should have trapped Barkley right away outside. Okay, now this is an excellent pass. Hawkins has been hot. We said that Barkley has only taken 1 shot opportunity. Now, please, everyone totally excited except for one thing. There are 10 seconds left in this game.
Still a lot of time.
Right, there are a ton of time, and you have Michael Jordan on your side. So now, Philadelphia, they're in a situation, they are up 1. Now, they have no timeouts remaining. So if Chicago should score, Philadelphia must inbound the ball quickly and advance it down the floor into a shot opportunity. You have Michael Jordan. Now, a lot of coaches will do this. They'll hold for the last shot, and then they'll go in and they'll take the last shot and try to win it with that shot. I don't like that type of strategy. I would rather get the first good shot, and then if I do miss, try for an offensive rebound. That gives me another chance to win this basketball game.
And that's an area that Chicago has dominated Philadelphia in throughout this series. Well, we'll see what the Bulls come up with there. 10.3 seconds remaining. Philadelphia trying to sneak a win in this series. They're up by a point.
Now remember, Chicago still has 1 timeout remaining.
Hersey Hawkins, the hero at the moment. He has 14 points in this final quarter, 29 in the game, with three biggest ones he just scored.
If you are not guarding Michael Jordan, you cannot let your man beat you off the dribble. Michael Jordan, that's a different story.
Gets to Cartwright, back to Pippen. You see the time remaining. Pippen launching it. No, rebound pulled away by Gilliam. They're going to tie him up right away.
They call the foul.
Called. And Armand Gilliam will be at the free throw line as Philadelphia can feel a victory finally coming their way against Chicago. Boy, they put pressure on Pippen here.
Now just watch this. Barkley tried to trap him. They actually trap him. See, that's what you always like to do when they go to a guy to win the game. Now Gilliam, an excellent foul shooter. He's had a terrific night tonight. Now this is a different angle. Watch Barkley come for that trap, see? Now, did he get hit? Yeah, he got bumped a little bit, but you're not going to get that at this time in the game. This is key.
Because there's still 1.8 seconds to go.
Now remember, Chicago still has one timeout remaining here.
And they'll call it right away. It's a 2-point game and still 1.3 seconds to go. 25 points for Armand Gilliam, but this one's not over yet. Chicago will have a chance to get off a final shot. We'll be back. Well, if the Bulls are going to tie this one up.
Well, you get the ball at half court. The main thing right now is this is where you miss Bowl. Bowl could play right on the guy out of bounds, and it would be a tough inbounds pass. When you only have 1.5 seconds, it's almost a catch and a shot. Now, the tough thing you got to watch out for here is that the Bulls have 5 guys here who all shoot over 30% in threes. So the one thing you do not want to do is allow the guy to catch a ball deep and think that he cannot make the shot. And they have Paxson in there along with Jordan. They all can do that. Now, the one thing you try to do is switch on all back picks and do not allow a guy to go to the front of the rim and catch a pass. Now, Anderson must be all over. They've got to be. No, they're not. They're not even playing the guy out of bounds. I find this interesting because now he can pick out the guy he wants to pass to.
And this one is going to be over. The Philadelphia 76ers trailing for much of the night. Rally in the final quarter to win the first game for them in this series. Chicago now leads it 2-1. The big basket, a three-pointer by Hersey Hawkins in the closing seconds.
You know what's interesting there, Pete? They got the ball inbounds where they wanted it. They were going back to Scottie Pippen from out of bounds. Michael Jordan was a decoy in the last 2 plays. How about that?
It is a 99-97 Philadelphia victory. There will be at least 5 games in this series. We'll be back with our Budweiser player of the game. We had a thriller tonight here at the Spectrum in Game 3 of this best-of-7 series. Philadelphia rallying in the fourth quarter to pull one up on the Chicago Bulls, 99-97. It's now a 2-1 Chicago lead. Our Budweiser player of the game, not much doubt about it. The big basket and a huge second half for Hersey Hawkins. There you see his numbers.
That was such a beautiful play that they executed. And at the other end of the floor, you know, you're going to see it right here first. Now, there it is. They sucked Michael Jordan in, and then they pitched out to Hersey Hawkins. That's why I thought Pippen would have trapped Barkley as soon as the ball was thrown in bounds. That was a breakdown in their defense. At the other end, you got to give Philly credit. They did trap the guy, Scottie Pippen, and forced a bad shot opportunity.
So there you see the numbers on Hersey Hawkins. He is our Budweiser player of the game. It's now a 2-1 Chicago lead in this best-of-7 series. Hawkins finishing the night with 29. Coming up next, Game 3 in that series out in Oakland between the Golden State Warriors and the Los Angeles Lakers. Bob Neal and Doug Collins standing by to bring you that one. In the meantime, we're going to go back to our Atlanta studios where Ernie Johnson is standing by.